Edgar Berlanga is reportedly on the verge of signing with Premier Boxing Champions, PBC, and this move could change the trajectory of his career. The Brooklyn-born super middleweight contender, currently a promotional free agent, is looking for a deal that will secure him the biggest payday of his career. After becoming a household name with his knockout power and thrilling performances in the ring, Berlanga believes PBC is the right platform to reach the top. With PBC's proven track record of landing big fights and securing major deals for its fighters, Berlanga is positioning himself for a career-defining shift. As he continues to rise through the ranks, Berlanga's focus is clear. He's aiming for a shot at Canelo Alvarez. He's convinced that taking down any of the top 3 fighters in his division would earn him the right to challenge Canelo once again. This, to him, is the golden opportunity, a chance to face the world's best and potentially secure a payday that would set him up for life. However, Berlanga has expressed less interest in a fight with Caleb Plant, dismissing the idea with a bold statement, "Fight Plant." For Edgar, it's all about fighting for the title, and a match against Canelo is the only one that truly excites him. Berlanga is fresh off a dominant first-round knockout victory over Jonathan Gonzalez Ortiz in March, and he's clearly eager to make an impact in the super middleweight division. However, Berlanga wasn't thrilled with how things went under Matchroom Boxing's promotional banner, where he was relegated to the undercard instead of headlining his own event. He had hoped that Eddie Hearn would set up a fight against IBF super middleweight champion William Skull, believing that a win would bring him one step closer to securing the coveted Canelo rematch. A victory over Skull, in Berlanga's mind, would force Canelo into a corner, leaving him with no choice but to face him again for the title. Despite the frustrations, Berlanga still left Matchroom at the end of his contract, even after they secured him a career-high $10 million payday in his fight against Canelo. It's clear that Edgar's desire for the biggest bag outweighs loyalty, and he's now setting his sights on new opportunities with PBC. Though Matchroom delivered him a big payday and a shot at one of boxing's biggest names, Berlanga is looking forward, not backward, with hopes of maximizing his earning potential and getting the fights that will define his legacy. What makes this move even more intriguing is Berlanga's interest in pursuing a matchup with inactive 2 division world champion Jermall Charlo. Charlo has been absent from the ring for nearly 2 years, and his relevance in the sport has waned. Despite this, Berlanga seems keen on the idea, likely seeing it as another opportunity to make a statement and gain attention in the boxing world. However, it's curious that Turki Al-Sheikh, a powerful figure in the sport, hasn't signed Berlanga yet, especially considering the enormous financial opportunities available through Riyadh season events. This situation leaves many wondering what the next move will be for Berlanga, and whether he will continue to climb the ranks, or if he's betting on bigger opportunities elsewhere. The situation surrounding Berlanga's career and his desire for the biggest fights and paydays makes for an exciting narrative. As he prepares to make a decision about his next move, the boxing world will be watching closely to see whether his gamble pays off. A move to PBC could put him in prime position to challenge the very best in the division and secure the kind of legacy that he's been working toward for years. Whether he's fighting Canelo, Charlo, or someone else, Berlanga's next steps will be crucial to his career and the future of the super middleweight division. Berlanga's decision to leave Matchroom Boxing after securing a huge payday, despite the promising opportunities with Eddie Hearn, speaks volumes about his ambitions. While Hearn played a significant role in propelling Berlanga into the spotlight, with big pay-per-view bouts, Berlanga's hunger for even greater success seems to outweigh any loyalty to the promoter. His desire to break free from the confines of Matchroom and align himself with PBC shows just how focused he is on maximizing his earning potential and landing the biggest fights. With PBC, Berlanga sees the potential to not only secure a lucrative contract, but also put himself in the ring with some of the best names in the sport, something that's crucial for his long-term career goal. One of Berlanga's main targets is, of course, Canelo Alvarez. With Canelo being the biggest draw in the sport, a rematch would not only be a highly lucrative fight for Berlanga, but also a massive opportunity to solidify his place in boxing history. Canelo has been the face of the super middleweight division for years, and for Berlanga, a win over the Mexican icon would be a game changer. However, for that rematch to happen, Berlanga knows he needs to take down top contenders and build momentum. That's why he's keeping his eye on the top 3 fighters in the division, believing that securing a win over any of them would elevate his status and set the stage for that coveted Canelo fight. Berlanga's frustration with matchroom boxing is understandable. The undercard placement for his last fight didn't sit well with him, as he was looking to headline and show the world his knockout power. Being placed in a lower-profile spot after his high-profile loss to Canelo must have felt like a step back, and it seems to have pushed him towards seeking greener pastures with PBC. While Eddie Hearn gave him the opportunity to fight Canelo, it appears that Berlanga felt the promoter didn't prioritize him enough to push for a title shot against fighters like William Skull. Berlanga's desire for respect in the boxing world is clear, and he's ready to leave behind any frustrations from his time with Matchroom and start fresh with a new promotional home. However, the road to a Canelo rematch is far from straightforward. Berlanga still has to prove himself against the best in the super middleweight division, and that means facing formidable opponents like Caleb Plant, Jermall Charlo, and other top-tier fighters. His choice to pursue a matchup with Charlo, despite the former champion's inactivity, may seem odd to some, but it makes sense in Berlanga's quest for a big fight. Charlo, though not the most active recently, still carries a significant name in the division. A victory over Charlo could catapult Berlanga into the mix for a major showdown with Canelo or another top fighter. The win would give him the credibility he needs to solidify his spot as a real contender, whether it's for a title or just to prove he belongs in the conversation. The uncertainty of Berlanga's next steps only adds to the intrigue surrounding his career. His decision to move to PBC signals a shift in his approach to boxing, where he's no longer content with just fighting for decent paydays. Instead, he's aiming for the biggest opportunities possible, including high-profile fights with the likes of Canelo and Charlo. The move also places him in a division full of potential matchups with other fighters that could further elevate his career. As Berlanga looks to move forward, the coming months will be critical in determining whether his gamble on PBC will pay off, or if he'll face more obstacles as he attempts to break into the upper echelons of boxing stardom.